several people watching Crimewatch tonight will certainly have their own hunches. In fact, someone might even know who did it. So here with new evidence is the reopened file on Geraldine Hughes and Pauline Floyd.
The area they were found, I passed that area umpteen times a week. And it'll never, ever go from my mind. Never, ever.
Consul 1 from Sergeant Jones. We discovered the body of a young girl in Llandarcy Woods.
567 to control. Could you arrange some tape? We need to cordon off the area.
We can imagine what they went through. They must have been terrified.
Sarge! There's another one, yeah!
We live that every day of our lives. To think what them two girls went through. And that is the nightmare. Constant nightmare, night after night.
Geraldine was very bubbly, very lively. She loved her dogs and her cats and her rabbits. Pauline was quieter. She was very small, like a little doll.
She always used to have these the freckles, which she always used to say, "Why did I have freckles?" And she, you know, she used to try and wipe them off sometimes, but there were so many.
On the night of the murders, the girls arranged to meet outside the Smith's Arms pub in Neath Abbey, and from there they planned to travel into Swansea.
I was going to go with Geraldine and Pauline to Swansea, but because I'd started a new job, I didn't have much money, so I just didn't go.
That Saturday was the day of the annual Neath Fair, and all the buses travelling back to Swansea were full.
It's going to be hours before we get one now.
It's 3 now.
It wasn't unusual to hitchhike. It was the thing that was done, and you wasn't afraid to do it. We thumbed lifts, and a lot of other girls of our age thumbed lifts at that time.
Oh, thanks for stopping. Do you want a lift, girls?
Where are you going, Anne?
Top rank in Swansea. We would do that at 8:30. What are you doing here then?
I was picking some people up from a wedding in Swansea about midnight. Just driving up. What's the time, really? Not direct me, or girls. I'm a stranger in these parts, up in the valleys, see?
The driver of that minibus was never traced, but if he has any recollection of the journey all those years ago, his evidence might now make all the difference. Once in Swansea, the girls went to what was then the top rank on Kingsway.
We used to dance all night. Our feet would be aching at the end of the evening. We used to thoroughly enjoy the dancing. Mark Bolan was our hero.
So they decided to hitchhike back to Llandarcy, where Geraldine lived. Many people said they'd seen Geraldine and Pauline getting into a light-coloured car, possibly an Austin or Morris 1100. Did you see them, or were you the driver that gave them a lift?
Two bubbly girls, aren't they? Enjoying life. Just starting out, fashions and all this.
This was the last known sighting of Pauline and Geraldine alive. But a light-coloured car was later seen over a half-hour period next to the copse where the girls were later found. Was it innocently parked here by someone who was too frightened to come forward at the time? The copse is only half a mile from Geraldine's home. Maybe the girls asked to be dropped off here so that they could take a shortcut back to the house.
Over here is the spot where the body of Pauline was found, and it's clear from the forensic evidence and the examination of the scene that at some stage both Pauline and Geraldine were together at this spot when they were attacked. The evidence suggests then that Geraldine has attempted to run through the copse and has almost made it to the main road. Sadly, within yards of the roadway, the killer has caught her and dragged her back into the wood, where he has then attacked her. Both Geraldine and Pauline were strangled with ligatures, struck on the back of the head, and were sexually assaulted during the attack.
There's things that they have missed out on that I have had myself. I've got children and grandchildren, and it's just what they've missed.
It's taken its toll on both families, and especially for our father. He's 87 now, and that's his only wish after it happened, that he'd live. For him to know the name of the person, you know, responsible.
Paul, it's desperately sad, but it horrified people at the time. And if they haven't come forward over the last 27 years, why should they come forward now?
Yes, there is an old adage, Nick, that time is a great healer. But having spoken to the families, I can tell you that they remain as devastated and broken-hearted now as they were 27 years ago. But there may be men out there that were spoken to at the time and may feel that they're suspected of the offence, or might have been suspected of the offence. And I would ask them now to come forward. We can now eliminate them from the inquiry.
Very simple elimination with a swab.
5 minutes with a cotton swab.
What about people who had suspicions at the time?
There will be no recriminations. There might be people out there that gave false alibis at the times to possibly brothers, husbands, sons. We would ask them now to search their conscience and come forward and give us a name. That's all we need.
And even if people didn't do anything like give a false alibi, they just had, I'm not sure about so-and-so. I mean, they might not have come forward because they don't want to get so-and-so into trouble on what's nothing more than suspicion. But now that suspicion's important because you can eliminate it.
Absolutely, we can eliminate. We don't need to ask questions as such. It's a simple procedure. Just please come forward and tell us anything you know about these killings.
Now, these two murders are bad enough, but there's a possibility, I know you haven't formally linked them, there's a possibility that they are linked to a series of rapes where ligatures were used as well in a sort of 10-mile area of where this happened.
Yes, there were two other quite brutal attacks with the use of ligatures. And what I would ask, Nick, is if there are any young women of the time out there that possibly...
1972, 1973.
1972, 1973, that were possibly attacked or approached by a man in a manner that might have caused them some concern, please contact us.
Not just in Llandasi, but anywhere around Swansea?
Within about a 10-mile radius of the murder scene. I'd ask those women to contact us now. They may hold vital information.
But please, if there's anything you know at all, any suspicions you've got, and you've heard, even if you gave a false alibi, it doesn't matter now. Just please call, and the DNA swab is so simple, so quick for elimination. The studio number is 0500 600 600. The incident room is on 01 639 889 127. Or you can email us at crimewatchuk, that's cwuk@bbc.co.uk.